Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Hope you guys are doing great and I hope you guys are doing well. And today we are speaking about a very, very powerful topic, which is the rise and the fall of the children of Israel. We're going to be following along with our Quran, so I hope you guys have your Quran in hand, as I also do have mine right now. Apparently, we're going to be reading a lot of the Quran. We're going to be referring a lot of the Quran on today's video, so please have your Quran in hand and let's get started with this video. We are reacting to the rise and the fall of the children of Israel. Before we get started, you know the drill on the channel. Drop a like on the video before we get started. Hit the bell notification if you are new, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Much love. Let's go.
I wanted to pause here and incorporate a very interesting explanation of the beginning of Surah Isra. And this is something that is relatively modern, as I will explain. If you have a Quran, by the way, it would be nice if you check your Quran right now, the first pages of Surah Isra. If you have some type of Quran app or something, please take a look at that so that you can follow along. Because this is now another interpretation of a very classical set of verses that many ulama of our times, actually, more and more ulama are interpreting Surah Isra as being one of the signs of Judgment Day. And if you begin from the surah, it starts off with the issue of Subhanalladhi Asra bi'abdihi, the issue of Isra, and the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed the Bani Israel, and that He gave them some power in the land. Now, the verses then go on. وَقَضَيْنَا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ فِي الْكِتَابِ لَتُفْسِدُنَّ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَّتَيْنِ. This is verse number 4 of Surah Isra. Okay, follow along. These are very powerful verses. We قَضَيْنَا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. We conveyed and decreed to the children of Israel in the kitab. What is the kitab here? Most of our ulama said the Lawh al-Mahfuz. We decreed amongst the Lawh al-Mahfuz that to whom? To the Bani Israel. لَتُفْسِدُنَّ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَّتَيْنِ. You shall cause fasad in this world twice. You shall cause fasad twice. لَتُفْسِدُنَّ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَّتَيْنِ وَلَتَعْلُنَّ عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا. And you shall reach a degree of great haughtiness. عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا. Interestingly enough, Allah uses the same adjective for Fir'aun. إِنَّ فِرْعَوْنَ يا حفظة إن فرعون علا في الأرض. So Allah is saying the Bani Israel will have two periods of might and izzah that they will honor or abuse. Which one? Abuse. وَلَتَعْلُنَّ عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا. Okay, you guys all follow me? Everybody on the same page? Okay, now we move on. فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ أُولَاهُمَا. When the first of these two promises come, when the first time that you shall rise up, you shall be dominant, you shall have ulu and cause fasad. What is fasad? Fasad is corruption. Fasad is killing. Fasad is subjugation of people. Fasad is lots of chaos wherever you are. This is fasad. Wallahu la yuhibbul fasad. إِنَّ الْمُلُوكَ إِذَا دَخَلُوا قَرْيَةً أَفْسَدُوهَا. This is fasad. Fasad is caused by corrupt people, by evil people. So Allah is saying, when the first of these two times is going to happen, what is going to happen? فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ أُولَاهُمَا بَعَثْنَا عَلَيْكُمْ عِبَادًا لَنَا أُولِي بَأْسٍ شَدِيدٍ. We shall send against you. An army will come, a group will come against you. They are our creation, our servants. عِبَادًا لَنَا. We created them, you didn't create them. عِبَادًا لَنَا أُولِي بَأْسٍ شَدِيدٍ. They have great military might. They are a strong qawm. They're not a weak qawm. أُولِي بَأْسٍ شَدِيدٍ فَجَاسُوا خِلَالَ الدِّيَارِ. And they managed to go and probe even into your houses. They're going to go and all the way destroy all the way to your houses. وَكَانَ وَعْدًا مَفْعُولًا. And this was a promise that indeed took place. It is a true promise. وَكَانَ وَعْدًا مَفْعُولًا. Everybody clear so far? Okay, now. ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَا لَكُمُ الْكَرَّةَ عَلَيْهِمْ. Then we gave you back a karra, a new chance. We gave you another chance. And we caused you to have a victory over your enemies. ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَا لَكُمُ الْكَرَّةَ عَلَيْهِمْ. So from being subjugated, from being humiliated, what happened? You rose up again. You rose from the ashes and you developed power. And وَأَمْدَدْنَاكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ. We gave you blessings. You now had a civilization, children, wealth. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أَكْثَرَ نَفِيرًا. And we made you powerful in numbers. Your أَكْثَرَ نَفِيرًا means your manpower or your strength or your military might. All of this is allowed here, right? So you became a mighty nation. ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَا لَكُمُ الْكَرَّةَ عَلَيْهِمْ وَأَمْدَدْنَاكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أَكْثَرَ نَفِيرًا إِنْ أَحْسَنْتُمْ أَحْسَنْتُمْ لِأَنفُسِكُمْ. Ya Bani Israel, if you do good, it's only for yourself. You will do good. وَإِنْ أَسَأْتُمْ فَلَهَا. But if you do evil, it will be used against you. You have power. If you are faithful to your commandments, if you obey Allah, you will benefit yourself. Your nation will thrive. You will become more powerful. But if you misuse that power, and if you subjugate others and cause tyranny and fasad, then that will be taken away from you. وَإِنْ أَسَأْتُمْ فَلَهَا فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ الْآخِرَةِ. When the akhirah does not mean the akhirah. The akhirah here means the end of the two, the second one, the last one. The ulahuma is the first one, the akhirah is the last one. Doesn't mean the akhirah, the hereafter. No, that's a misunderstanding that people might have when they don't understand the meaning of akhirah here. فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ الْآخِرَةِ. When the final of these, meaning the second, because there's going to be two times that they will rise up, right? When the second and final time, because there shall not be a third time of power. Ya Bani Israel, Allah has decreed you shall come to power and be a civilization twice. The first one, وَكَانَ وَعْدًا مَفْعُولًا. It is a done deal. The second one, when it shall happen, فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ الْآخِرَةِ لِيَسُوءُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. There is a missing phrase here, and that missing phrase, we should say it is understood by the context that Allah will send another group of people, and they will cause your faces to become sour. You will find that because when you're hurt, when you're irritated, when you're angry, when something happens to you, your faces scowl. لِيَسُوءُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. After they were beaming with pride, they will now become scowling with anger. لِيَسُوءُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. Now here, listen to this. وَلِيَدْخُلُوا الْمَسْجِدَ كَمَا دَخَلُوهُ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. And they shall enter the masjid. Which masjid? Ya audience. Aqsa. There's no ikhtilaf. The masjid here is not Mecca and Medina, Aqsa. وَلِيَدْخُلُوا الْمَسْجِدِ. And they shall enter the masjid, Masjid al-Aqsa. كَمَا دَخَلُوهُ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. As they entered it the previous time. كَمَا دَخَلُوهُ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ وَلِيُتَبِّرُوا مَا عَلَوْا تَتْبِيرًا. And they will destroy whatever you had taken over with your ulu, whatever you had done, whatever you had built, whatever had been constructed with your ulu, وَلِيُتَبِّرُوا مَا عَلَوْا تَتْبِيرًا. All of it will be destroyed and taken away. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, عَسَى رَبُّكُمْ أَنْ يَرْحَمَكُمْ. Your Lord might have mercy on you. وَإِنْ عُدْتُمْ عُدْنَا. And if you go back to your evil ways, we will go back to our punishing of you. That's what it means here. If you go back to your evil ways, we will go back to punishing you. وَجَعَلْنَا جَهَنَّمَ لِلْكَافِرِينَ حَصِيرًا. And we have made Jahannam a place for the kuffar to reside in. Jayyid. Okay. Everybody followed the translation? Clear? Jayyid. Okay. You all understood the translation. Okay. What is the tafsir of this page of Surah Isra? So here is one example that honestly so many of our modern scholars are rethinking through, because the Quran is so explicit. So you see where I'm heading with all of this. You all understand. Where I'm heading, there are dozens of modern ulama that have already said, I'm not the one saying it, but not a single alim 70 years ago held this view. How could they when the political world was very different 70 years ago? You guys know what happened 70 years ago. Not a single alim ever felt that this ayah is a prediction of the future. Every alim that I have read, I could have missed some, but 40 ulama that I've read, the classical mufassirin, everyone is considering these two, been there, done that, from the past. And why would they not? Because in their time frame, the Bani Israel, there is no hope of another nation coming. They are scattered throughout the world. There is nothing that combines them. So they read these verses, they read history and common sense. There's nothing to make fun of, nothing to dismissive attitude. I would have done the same had I been alive 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. That's human beings. Don't make our ulama infallible. I can be wrong and they can be wrong. They can be wrong, I can be right. I can be right, they can be wrong. This is the nature of human beings. These ulama, pretty much all of them, they said what? These two ulu have already taken place in the past. Done deal. And then they differed, as is to be expected, because there is no ijma'. They differed which of these two. And some said that the first of these was the Assyrian exile of 722 BC, when the Assyrians attacked the remnants of the original kingdom of Israel that was founded by Talut and Dawood and Sulaiman, the ones who actually founded the original kingdom of Israel. It then splintered into two, and then these two disintegrated, one of them remained, one disintegrated, one remained. The one that remained was finally gotten rid of by the Assyrians who attacked them in 722 BC. And then another group came, and eventually the Babylonian expulsion took place under Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar in 597 BC. So this is one interpretation, that the first of them was 722 BC and the second of them was 597 BC. Others have said, and this is very popular as well, and this is the position of even some of the tabi'un. Some of the tabi'un, this was their position, that the first of these, the ulahuma, is 597, when the second temple was destroyed. Maybe one day we'll have a longer history about the Bani Israel. There were two temples. The original temple of Sulaiman, that Allah Azza wa Jal blessed Sulaiman with, that the jinn helped him to build a magnificent structure that people could marvel at, because it wasn't built by humans only. So this was the jinn helped Sulaiman built the most magnificent icon in the whole world at that time. And this was destroyed in 722 by the Assyrian invasion. And then they built a second temple. And the King Herod built the other temple, which was then destroyed under the Roman destruction of 70 CE. 70 CE, after Jesus Christ, right? So from 722 there was no temple. Then King Herod built the temple again, and it was there for a few decades. Then in 70 BC the Romans came and destroyed the temple, and the Wailing Wall that we see today is the only remnants of the second temple built by King Herod, or King Herod. As for the temple of Sulaiman, nothing remains. Wala shay, nothing. What we have is the second temple, one wall, and that's the western wall, and that is the Wailing Wall that you know, that was built around the time of Jesus, and that is now the wall that they go and they worship at. So many of our tabi'un said the first is the expulsion of Bukhtanasar, because Bukhtanasar massacred them. It was one of the main massacres of the Bani Israel, and he was somebody who basically almost exterminated them. Then they had to flee to various places in the world. And then in the Roman expulsion as well in 70 CE, another wave took place. Jayyid. This is the classical interpretation, that the two have already occurred. You understand where I'm heading with this? There is a modern interpretation that a number of prominent ulama from across the globe, and I mean there are a number of names, but most of these are not to the level that we understand. Footnote here, generally speaking, students of knowledge stick with the madrasa they graduate from. So if their teacher said it, they will remain that way. So to break away from the tradition is not something that is typical. understandably so, and I'm not encouraging that. So whatever your teachers taught you, whatever you read Ibn Kathir and Tabari and Zamakhshari and whatnot, you will stick with it and keep on replicating. Alhamdulillah, there's no problem. Some people are willing to rethink through and break away. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. I'll be the first to say, not every breaking away is good. And those ulama who tend to do this, obviously they have to face their backlash and whatnot, but at the same time, they're the ones who produce some very interesting ideas, such as what I'm about to say. A number of prominent scholars in Egypt, in Bilad al-Sham, in Palestine, a number of places, they are saying, why are we assuming that these are in the past? The Quran doesn't say so. In fact, the Quran only says one of them, وَكَانَ وَعْدًا مَفْعُولًا. The first one has taken place. As for the second, the Quran does not say that it has taken place. Why are we assuming it has taken place? And now you see exactly where we're heading with this, right? So the first one would then be, most likely, the first destruction of the temple. That was when the glory of the original kingdom completely gone. And they have never had that type of political stability up until when? We all know up until when. And so, Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying, ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَا لَكُمُ الْكَرَّةَ عَلَيْهِمْ. We give you one more chance and you were victorious over your enemies. وَأَمْدَدْنَاكُمْ. We helped you, we aided you. You had government aid, you had the largest endowments from the biggest superpower in the world. You had everything you could have ever wanted. Right? وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أَكْثَرَ نَفِيرًا. You couldn't have asked for more. With all of this, what did you do? إِنْ أَحْسَنْتُمْ أَحْسَنْتُمْ لِأَنفُسِكُمْ. If you acted properly, that would have been for your own. وَإِنْ أَسَأْتُمْ فَلَهَا فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ الْآخِرَةِ. So then when the second time comes, لِيَسُوءُ وُجُوهَكُمْ, means there's a missing phrase like we said, another group will come. And this group will eliminate the izzah that you had, and you shall see that your ulu and your fasad and your evil did not help you. And you will see it and your faces will demonstrate that. لِيَسُوءُ وُجُوهَكُمْ. Now here's the key point that allows them to make this tafsir. وَلِيَدْخُلُوا الْمَسْجِدَ كَمَا دَخَلُوهُ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. The group that is being referenced here, it is not alien to Masjid al-Aqsa. This group has already conquered Masjid al-Aqsa at some previous point in history. And now they are conquering it again. وَلِيَدْخُلُ الْمَسْجِدَ كَمَا دَخَلُوهُ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. Who conquered Jerusalem once before and wants to conquer it again? So this was a complete different long tangent that needed to be done when it comes to Ashrat al-Sa'ad, the science of judgment.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, that was a very, very informative video. It was a very, very powerful video. But I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but in my Quran, it says the full title of the surah. It says the full title of the surah instead of saying Surah Isra. I know there are other people whose Quran is going to read Surah Isra, but my Quran doesn't really say Surah Isra. It reads the whole thing. It really states the entire name of the surah, which refers to the children of Israel. Let me just show you real quickly what I mean. It really, really does show the entire name of the surah. I know there are other people as well who might have different Qurans that might be just saying Surah Isra, but mine says it in full, which is Bani Israel, which is the children of Israel. I'm not sure if you guys can see it there, but that's exactly what it says. It says it in full. And the Quran that I have is a English translation one. It goes from Arabic and it goes to interpret as well in English. It also has the beautiful, beautiful writing of the Arabic language. The way they write this Arabic language is really, really marvelous. I'm still trying to learn how to read Arabic in its proper form, not in the English alphabets that we have, but in its proper linguistic form. So I'm still trying to learn all of that. But going off topic a bit, you know, the fact that we are speaking about Israel. Israel is a very mighty nation. Israel is a very beloved nation by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by God Almighty. It's a very, very beloved nation. It's a very, very powerful nation according to history. It's a very, very powerful nation according to history as far as the things that they have gone through, the type of mighty people that have came from a country, a place such as Israel. I'm not sure if any of you guys on the channel have been to Israel. I'm not sure if any of you guys on the channel live in Israel, but it's a very, very powerful country, a very, very spiritual country as well. Because if you read throughout history, if you follow the history of the country of Israel or the nation of Israel, you begin to see that it's very, very much rooted in spirituality, be it in the religious space, be it outside the religious space. It's a very, very spiritual country, a very, very deeply rooted country in the love of Allah, in the love of God, be it in the Jewish sense, be it in the Christian sense, be it in the Muslim sense. It's a very, very, very powerful country. And I really, really want to visit Israel one day. I really, really want to go there and actually begin to experience the feel of Israel, begin to experience the places that mighty men have walked, mighty men which are found in the mighty religious books that we have, be it the Quran, be it the Holy Bible. I just really want to walk upon the streets, walk upon the ground which some of these mighty men that we find in the Bible have really, really walked. But I really, really like the story and the video we reacted on right now, speaking mostly about the nation of Israel and how also kings, mighty kings and emperors such as Nebuchadnezzar, how he had mighty influence upon the nation of Israel, how he had mighty influence upon the children of Israel, and everything that has transpired as you have seen in this video. I'm not sure if you learned something in this video. If you did, hit me up in the comments and tell me what you learned. If you missed something, please rewatch the video, go back on the video, and really, really ensure that you listen to everything that was said. I'm not sure who's narrating in this video, so if you know who's narrating in the video, you can hit me up also in the comments, and we see exactly who this guy is who is narrating the story of the children of Israel. Before you leave, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell notification. Much love. Peace.